Serious and silliness bodybuilding. That's right. This is Anabolic Academy. But before we get started, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding is obviously available on YouTube. It is available on Spotify. It is available on Apple iTunes, Google Podcast, and soon, very, very soon, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding will be available on Rumble, because there was such breaking news about Rumble today. Apparently, Dave Portnoy, the guy who started Barstool Sports, invested in Rumble, which means they're probably going to make a big push. So I don't want to miss the boat, and I will be jumping on Rumble with this channel and Serious and Silliness Outcast as well. But figure in about a week that will be available, so on and so forth, after we work out all the kinks and figure out how we do this. I'm sure it's not difficult, but we will be getting it done. But this is Anabolic Academy, and if you are new to the show, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any content. Anabolic Academy is when you guys send me questions and I answer them on bodybuilding, fitness, me. Well, you can ask anything the hell you want. I don't give a shit. But primarily bodybuilding and fitness. So we got a few questions. We got some really good questions, and we're going to jump right into it. So let's see. First, from HitFit_performance on Instagram. Do you think Mr. Clarida ever used any SEO for his arms or other body parts? SEO is obviously site enhancement, right? Site enhancement injections or some shit like that. Whatever. Yeah. What is it? Pump and pose. What's it called? Synthol. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I wouldn't be surprised if any bodybuilder does. Look, you got to understand, these are competitive athletes. They want to win at all costs. And when you are that successful of a bodybuilder like Shaun Clarida is, you know, what is he, 2 or 3-time 212 Mr. Olympia? You know, he's won an open show, right? He beat guys like Regan Grimes and Sergio Oliva Jr. in that open show. I mean, you know this guy is going to do whatever it takes to win. So if rumors ever circulate that he's taking site enhancement oils, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if any of them did. I don't know why. I can't wrap my head around why site enhancement oils are like taboo, if you will, for lack of a better term. You know, these guys take testosterone, they take any kind of anabolics, they take oral steroids, they take IGF, they take insulin, they take growth hormone, God knows whatever the hell else they take, right? It's all temporary muscle, right? And nothing is permanent. You come off your growth hormone, you come off your cycle, and you're going to lose size. So I don't understand why the site enhancement oils are like so taboo and risque. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I've used them before. They definitely work. I've used them in my shoulders because I don't have very wide shoulder. I don't have very wide side lats, if you will. I don't have those capped. I never did. It was always my problem spot. I never did. So I've used them in my shoulders. It does work. But, if you use too much, it looks ridiculous. If you don't know how to use it, it looks ridiculous. I mean, and if you use some cheap grade of it, it looks ridiculous. You don't want to look like one of those idiots from South America, right? I mean, it just looks insane. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it, and I wouldn't hold anything against him if he did it either, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know. All right, next question. Let's see. From, again, HitFit_performance on Instagram. What is your favorite cheat meal if you ever had one? Dude, I have way too many cheat meals. My rule of thumb is I eat clean during the week, and then it's usually Saturday nights I have a cheat meal. I usually go out to eat or order food in or something like that. And my favorite cheat meal is cheeseburger, French fries, and then I have ice cream. That's my favorite cheat meal, right? But I'll be honest with you, the holidays just passed, and it being like the middle of winter, yeah, I don't eat as clean as I should, right? Sometimes, I'm hungry and I don't really feel like making a meal. So I put, peanut butter and jelly on rice cakes or what's that, Ezekiel bread or something like that. I mean, I use the all natural peanut butter and a low sugar and the low sugar jelly and whatnot. But, you know, it's not the best meal in the world. But sometimes I just don't feel like, you know, making a meal, or I don't feel like taking the food out, heating it up, and it's just quick. You know, once the weather starts clearing up, I'll be more conscious. I'll be like, all right, I really got to clean up my diet here and blah, blah, blah. You know, especially you go on vacation and stuff like that. You give yourself a little goal to get in shape. It always helps, right? But yeah, man, I mean, there are pizza too, but a cheeseburger. I love cheeseburgers, French fries, milkshake, ice cream. I love that stuff. You know, as always, when I was a kid, you know, my father used to make fun. You know, my father was Italian, so he used to be like, "This kid eats nothing but cheeseburgers. You know, cheeseburgers. That's all he wants. Cheeseburgers, French fries. That's all he wants." You know. All right, next question again from HitFit_performance. Do you have an opinion about the fake natty influencers? Yeah, they're assholes. I don't understand that. If you are a guy who claims to be natural, like the Liver King, and you base your entire brand on that, like the Liver King, and then it comes out that you're not, which he wasn't, nobody is ever going to respect you ever again, because nobody's ever going to trust you again. You're a fraud. You're a fake. You're ridiculous. I have more respect for people that say, hey, yeah, this is what it is. It's A, B, and C, and that's it. And that's how I try to mimic. That's what I try to copy. I try to be as honest and as clear and as see-through as you, transparent is the word I was looking for, sorry, as you possibly can. Anybody who asks me anything, I will tell you exactly what I've done, what I'm doing in like, don't get me wrong. If it's something personal, I'll just skip it, right? If it's something to do with family or something like that, and I don't want to talk, I don't want something out there, I'm not going to talk about it, right? But since I'm a bodybuilding YouTuber and you ask me about working out, steroids, supplements, site enhancement oils, whatever, I'm going to answer you bluntly and clearly. And if you ask me directly what I have used, I'm going to tell you exactly what I've used, and I'm not going to make any excuses, and I'm just going to tell you. People respect honesty. Look, you go down. The reason why certain people are so adored is because of their honesty, right? Mike Tyson, Dana White. You know, you go down the list of guys. People don't like liars and frauds because it's going to come out sooner or later. It's going to come out. As a matter of fact, here's the funny thing. There was a guy who did an interview, and he was supposed to be this big Italian mafia guy from Brooklyn. His name was Anthony Raimondi. And turned out that he was a fraud, that he was a fake, and he was on Vlad TV. And I covered him on my other channel. And I basically said, it was a 5-minute video, and I said, Anthony Raimondi is full of shit. And of course, the title is SH, you know, star T, right? That is still my highest viewed video on that channel. Still, I got like over 40,000 views on that channel. Still. And I did that 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. I did that 2 years ago, and it's still, people still watch it. Because if you're a fraud and somebody, you know, says it and calls bullshit and proves it or whatever the case may be, people respect that a lot more. And the comments, you got to see the comments. It's clear as day. And I don't understand why people want to lie and bullshit. I mean, the Liver King is, you know, you're a fraud. You're a fake. People are eating raw food and raw meat, and people were taking your supplements, and you're full of shit. You were using growth, you were using peptides, you were using tests. You're full of shit. Nah, I can't deal with those guys. I can't deal with those guys. All right, next question, of course, from Fran is the man, because Fran is the man. In my opinion, who are the top 5 bodybuilding gurus out there? Okay, that's a tough one. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to put Milos. Milos is up there. Tuar, is that his name? Tuar, whatever the hell his name is. Him. Who else? Chris Aceto. I'm going to put him in there. Who are the other 2? It's rough because off the top of my head, I'm not going to be able to think about it off the top of my head. The guys I admire greatly, obviously, are Charles Glass, but he's not really a coach. He's more of like a great in-gym trainer, right? So we go Milos, Tudor, whatever his name is. Aceto, of course. Aceto's been around, since Jay Cutler was Mr. Olympia. Ramrod, whatever the hell his name is. Hani Ramrod. Yeah, I put, all right. Yeah, there you go. There's your top 5. That's it. And I'm sure I'm missing somebody and I probably don't realize or slipped or whatever, I don't remember. But if I don't, whoever you guys think, put in the comment section. If I missed anybody, if you disagree with me, if there's somebody that is great and I just overlooked it, say it in the comment section, please. Okay. Next question from Fran is do you follow natural bodybuilding? What's your thoughts on it? Yeah, it sucks. Look, people watch bodybuilding because they want to see the freaks. People watch baseball because they want to see the home runs. People watch UFC because they want to see knockouts and tap outs. People watch boxing because they want to see people get knocked the fuck out. That's the way it goes. Okay. If baseball, how can I say this? Take a baseball game and as a pitcher pitching a no-hitter. If you're a hardcore baseball fan, yeah, you might enjoy it, but it's a snoozer to everybody else because people want to see guys jacking home runs. We'll put asses in the seats in the 90s after the strike. Well, it was who were the two guys? Sammy Sosa and the other guy, McGuire. And those guys were juicing. They were on steroids, and they were wrecking that ball. And who was the other guy? The guy that was on San Francisco. Oh, God. I can't remember his name. Whatever. I mean, that ball used to leave the stadium like a rocket. It was unbelievable. And people kept watching and watching and watching and watching. And then what happened was they took steroids out of baseball, and that's what it is. That's what people want to see. And I'm sorry, when I see a natural bodybuilder, when I go, I could beat that guy. It's not, and don't think these guys in other sports don't use performance enhancement drugs. Don't think that these guys in basketball and football and baseball and soccer and whatever, don't think they're not using it. Believe me, they are. If they can get away with it and they can make them a better athlete, they will. They will do it. So that's the case. No. So natural bodybuilding sucks. I mean, listen. All right, look. That's my opinion. If you want to be a natural bodybuilder and that's your hobby, God bless you. Do what you want. It's great. You're not going to make a living at it. It's, you're not going to be, Kai Green tried and then finally just went, fuck it. Joined the dark side and became one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. Right? It is what it is. All right. Next question from Fran is the man. Do you have any tips on pumping up backstage before stepping on stage? Okay. So there's kind of like mixed reviews. Anytime I pumped up backstage, I was listening to my coach. So this was more about last minute things, listening to my coach. And of course, my coach, it always went, don't drink any water, right? We would decline the amount of water. And then the day before, you would stop drinking water at like whatever, 1 o'clock, and you wouldn't drink any more water, whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. And then you would eat something with sugar or fat. So you'd have like rice cakes with peanut butter and jelly, and then you would start pumping up. And the whole theory is that, once the glucose gets in you and the carbohydrates fills you up, and then you start pumping up, you haven't been on carbs in a very long time. It's supposed to fill out the muscle and make you look pumped and so on and so forth. Now, there's another school of thought that says, look, you did all your homework by this point. Just stay backstage and relax. The truth of the matter is, I think it's whatever works for the individual. That's my opinion. I know people that don't cut their water. I know people that cut water. I know people that don't take a diuretic. I know people that take a diuretic. I know people that eat rice cakes and peanut butter backstage. I've known people that drank wine or brandy backstage. I've heard a stupid rumor. This is ridiculous, but I heard of people taking Viagra backstage. I mean, that's just obscene. That's just ridiculous. And pumping up is a minute or so before you go on. Push-ups, you do the towel pulls, pull-ups, or you maybe bring some bands or whatever, right? And obviously you don't want to, you do not want to have your legs filled with blood because then you can't see the separation. So pumping up backstage, something I always did, but it was more about listening to my coach. If I ever were to compete again, and I never will, and the coach goes, you don't have to pump up. We've done all the homework. I would just listen to my coach and see what he said. I mean, I'm paying the guy. Why wouldn't I listen to him? That's what I think. I think everybody's a little bit different, right? And I think, it's just like the water manipulation, the sodium manipulation, the carbohydrate manipulation. Everybody's a little different. Some guys don't have to cut their carbs. Some guys don't have to manipulate their salt. Some guys don't have to cut their water. Some guys do. Some guys have to do it all. Some guys, I think it's all based on the individual. That's the best answer I could give you. Okay, next question from Fran is, this is from M Seta 241 on Instagram. Max bench, squat, and deadlift ever. Okay, I'm not the strongest guy in the world. I was never the strongest bodybuilder in the world. Compared to the average person, the average gym goer, yeah, but compared to actual bodybuilders, I'm not strong. So my best deadlift was 405. Okay, I never maxed out a deadlift. I always would rep it out. My best was 405 and rep it out, 6-8 reps, that kind of thing. It was never a good deadlifter. I was never a good deadlifter. And most of the time I would do sumo deadlifts because it was very uncomfortable. My lower back would hurt. And it was just an exercise that I would do to put size on my back, but I would do it as comfortably as possible. I always got more out of rack pulls and deadlifting with dumbbells, if you will. I always got a better pump that way. I always got better results that way. My bench, which is really odd because my best bench, again, on a regular barbell flat bench, 405. But I was always better with dumbbells for some reason on a bench. There was a time I was, I think I still have the video actually. It's a long time ago. There was one time I did 150-pound dumbbells flat. I think I got 3 or 4 reps out of it. I was pretty strong with dumbbells. Still to this day, for the most part, I'm pretty good with dumbbells. I go up to like 125s now. I rep it out. That's the highest I go. And squat. Squat was always my strongest movement. I always had very big legs. I always had, a longer torso and a shorter legs. So my best squat ever was 545. I also have that. That was a full squat. Most of the time, I remember I squatted 4 plates for 20 reps. That was my best. Now, if I do squat now, I really don't go past 3 plates. If I feel good, I might go to 4, but most of the time, I just do not go past 3 plates. I had an operation on my neck and my back, and I don't really want to mess with it. So what I'll do is I'll warm up with a plate, 2 plates. Maybe I'll do another set of 2 plates and I go to 3 plates, and I might do 3, 4, 5 sets of 3 plates and just keep squatting and keep squatting. Instead of pushing the weight, I just, would rather do that, that's about it. Yeah, it was never like, there was so many more guys that were stronger than me in the gym. There were so many more amateur bodybuilders that were stronger than me in the gym, the guys that, were on an NPC level or national level. And forget it, pro bodybuilders they're just freaks of nature. They're just big and strong. And, the whole thing, I was never that crazy strong. Like I said, for the average guy in the gym, I'm an animal, right? But when you really break it down, I mean, Clarida is 5'2" and 190 pounds on his off season. And the guy reps out 150s like they're nothing. I mean, you got to see him. It's like child's play, All right. Let's see. Next question from Fran is the man. If you started a supplement company, what would the name and what kind of products would you sell? Okay. I was actually thinking about that question today because I read it this morning. Obviously, if I had a supplement company, I would call it Serious Supplements, right? Just because it matches my YouTube channel. I would sell, obviously, what everybody would want. Pre-workout, creatine, whey protein. What else? Some kind of fast-acting carbohydrate. Things that a pump product, right? But here's what I would do. I would start out trying to make the items as affordable as possible. Obviously, still making a profit, right? Because, you know, there are pre-workouts that you can buy that are $30, and there are pre-workouts that you can buy that are $50. And people just want energy, right? I mean, I've just spoken to Jason Owens about his. He has a great pre-workout. What's it called? Mission. I Prevail subs, obviously. And his supplements are, he bases his supplements on the ingredients, the quality of the ingredients, and the amount of the amount, the milligrams of the dosages, right? And he makes a tremendous product, but he's expensive. But that's the payoff. So here's what my business model would be if I had a supplement company. I would start off with things that are very affordable. I would start off with if dosages or a certain quality was too expensive, I would make it more affordable. There's really not much you could do with whey isolate. It's kind of always the same. But maybe I would start out with a whey concentrate. Maybe my pre-workout wouldn't have all the other ingredients that are great pre-workout, but as long as it's giving you energy and it has caffeine or stims and it's affordable, great. Same thing with creatine. I would probably try to make it as affordable as possible. And this way I could break into the market and people would buy it. People would be like, oh, it's affordable. Then after I established myself, then what I would do is I would make a kind of like an extreme serious, like it would be like called serious extreme supplements. And it would be more geared for the hardcore bodybuilder. So now it is like the best whey isolate, the best pre-workout, the best form of creatine. And guys like me that don't mind spending the money on those quality stuff will do that. But I would never get away from the general population as well. Look, it's never going to be mainstream. Selling this stuff in Walmart and CVS and ShopRite, it's crap. It's garbage. But you're going to get young kids that don't have a lot of money, and they go to the vitamin shop or they go to Amazon and they want something affordable. Or you're going to get people in other countries that don't make a lot of money and they want something affordable. And at the same time, you're going to get guys like me or, competitive bodybuilders that want the best, that want the best quality products out there. And that would be my plan. That would be what I would do. Now, I know nothing about starting a supplement company. I just thought about this, this morning when I was looking at the questions. I'm sure there's a lot more involved. I'm sure it's not easy. It's a very competitive way to make a living. But you look at things like, Redcon One. You look at companies like who else? Off the top of my head, that's I can't really. Old School Labs, right? And they make affordable products that everybody could get, and they kind of can expand quickly. Whereas the companies wear relatively quickly, right? You know what I mean? Whereas the companies like I Prevail, where they target just a hardcore lifter that really wants the proper ingredients and proper dosages. It's going to take a lot longer to break into the market and kind of sell, if that makes sense, right? Look, Hyundai is a car manufacturer who sells very, very affordable cars, very reliable, very affordable cars. Anybody could afford one. But then they also have a brand that is, I forgot the name of it. What's Hyundai's luxury brand? They also have a brand that's more expensive, more luxury, more comfortable, more beautiful to the eye, right? What is the name of it? Genesis, right? So I would kind of follow that model, right? Hyundai established themselves, and then they started Genesis. I would kind of follow that model. You know, again, I'm not a business dude. I'm a goofball with a microphone, but that's the best thing I could answer. Okay, next question from Fran is the man, and unfortunately, the last question. What was your first splurge purchase from your YouTube revenue check? Okay, well, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding has only been here for a little over a year, and I don't have a huge following yet. So it's not like YouTube just throws money at you. It does not. Okay. I mean, I'll be quite frank. The best check I got from Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding was $160 for the month. So there's not a lot of splurging. Thank God I have a career, a good job where I make plenty of money. And I could deal with the fact that YouTube isn't making a lot of money for me, and that I don't have any endorsements. I don't have any sponsorships on this channel. So I really don't make much money. I put more money into the channel, okay, than I get out of it. So I think I'm able to, everybody knows I like bikes, motorcycles. I am able to buy, I bought myself a Harley Davidson, but that was not YouTube money. That was money that I work for, my regular day job, right? And I'm thinking about getting a second bike, but shh, don't tell anybody. If I do it, I'll let you guys know, but we'll see what happens. Might be something really, really fast, like something kick-ass. We'll see. Anyway, so usually that money just goes into my savings, or maybe I'll buy a pair of sneakers. If that's about it. I don't have 100,000 subscribers with sponsors and endorsements. It's not there yet. It will be. I'm very confident that it will be, but it's not there yet. Anyway, that does it for Anabolic Academy. Now, make sure you tune in to Muscle Talk, because this week we are having Phil Clayhar. We are having Dorian Haywood, and we were having also Luke Mont. He's been on the show before. He's also an IFBB pro, and I believe he's doing the New York Pro 212 this year. So it's going to be an all-star starter cast on Muscle Talk. And of course, plenty of other content coming up. I don't stop. I keep turning this shit out, baby. I keep pumping out. All right, guys. Remember, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you soon. Later. Peace. Do you follow body? I can't speak today. I'm sorry.